Hey fellas, how you doing? It's Johnny. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you two questions, right? The first question I'm going to ask you in this video is, do you trust women? That's the first question. And then the second question I'm going to ask you is do you trust yourself? So I was teaching a guy today in London. Again, I won't give his name away. I never give out students' information, especially without their permission. But this has been a conversation I've had with lots of the students I work with, lots of men. And that's, sorry, I'm clearing my throat. The question, well, actually they say it to me. It seems to come up when we're doing the teaching because things come out, and that's what I help guys to do. Yes, I help men to attract them on the street, the day game, that's the surface, but underneath that I help them to build a relationship with themselves and self-confidence, congruency. And the thing that a guy said to me today was, and I've had lots of students say it, pretty much all of them. Maybe some of them don't say it, but I know they're thinking it. When we build a relationship, I can tell. And lots of them just come forward and say it because we're doing really honest work. The work we do is really honest. We're really saying stuff that you're not really gonna ever say probably with your family, your friends. And that's the trust people have with placing their hands and their life in front of me. That's why it's amazing the job I get to do. So anyway, one of the students said to me today was, Johnny, I don't trust anyone. You know, and I know exactly how that felt. I know how that feels. I know it feels not to trust anyone because obviously you guys have been up to date with my story and what I went through, sort of with my upbringing, the bullying, and my strict father. I didn't trust anyone as well. And I think at the time I probably would have found it very difficult to admit this. It would have made me feel ashamed. Now I don't feel ashamed to say it because I do trust myself. I would go far as to say I trust myself a hell of a lot more than I used to, and that has changed my whole life because of that. Anyway, the point is, I understand what it feels like when you feel you can't trust people. I understand what it feels like when someone is being genuine with you, when you have a second thought and think, is there something behind this? Is there an agenda here? Is this person really being nice to me? I'm very familiar with that feeling in psychology. I went for years of that. I also know the other feeling of feeling guilty, feeling ashamed, feeling angry, feeling embarrassed, feeling confused because you can't trust people. Because as I said, and this is what Jeff really points out really well, really clear, he's reminded me of something that I knew but pointed out. If you don't trust people, or you don't trust women, or your family and friends, you don't trust yourself. Now it's kind of a crazy concept to kind of grasp, because when I first heard that I had to kind of think about it and play it back and think, oh shit, that does make sense, quite profound, because we attract what we are, our perception does create our reality. So when we don't trust other people, it's because we don't trust our own emotions. Now, some of the common reasons for myself, my old self, I'll say, not now, and the guys that I mentor, whether it's teaching them on the street, on the 6 weeks programs, on the weekend boot camps, over Skype, emails that I get sent, Facebook messages. And by the way, you guys are brilliant, because the amount of courage and respect that I've got for you guys who work with me, that are so honest, and people that write to me, it's like I just feel a great sense of responsibility. That's why I keep working on putting out as much stuff I can that will help you guys and being as honest as I can about my story. And sometimes it is not easy for me to talk about my personal things, especially when I feel I've passed them now. I don't really need to go back there. You know what I mean? I've been through my shit, I'm healed, I'm happy. But part of me does enjoy doing it because it helps you and it gives me satisfaction. So anyway, guys will say to me, I don't trust anyone, Johnny, because people try and take advantage of me. And I remember that's exactly how I felt in my early 20s because of what my father did, and especially with the people I was around. Now, not all my friends were not trustworthy, but I was around lots of violent people that could just turn on you just like that. 1 minute they're your friend, an hour later they want to try and stick a knife in you, they want to kill you, they want to take your money, they just get violent. So what that created in me, that made me frightened to express myself, because I was always cautious. Well, if I say that, this guy's gonna fucking go crazy. Or if I walk through my area today and I'm a little bit happier or expressive than I usually am if I dress different, the guys around the area might think, well, he's trying to make fun of us, or he's trying to take advantage of us. I had so much paranoia, and to some extent there's a very good reason for having it. I was physically beaten, hit, I was called names. I've been in lots of violent situations myself, because again, it created me not being able to trust people, and I did have that feeling that people would take advantage of me. And that whole term of if you're, you know, people take niceness for a weakness. But again, I think that's taken out of context, like the nice guy thing. I'll come to that in a second, stay with me. So working with a guy today, building an amazing relationship, he's doing fantastic. And basically that's what I said to him. You don't really need to worry about trusting anyone else, you just got to work on yourself. That's what my mentor says, and you're trusting me more, and it's getting clearer in each session because we can feel the vibe, you're opening up more, you're getting better results outside, your social life is very quickly starting to improve. And of course, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the solution is honesty, and I'm going to come back to PUA and dishonesty in a second, stay with me. So I know how it feels to not trust anyone. I know that feeling. It's a feeling that it almost feels like, it's almost like a dirty secret. Like you live your life, you play a role, you play a persona, you go out, you socialize with your friends, you might put a little bit of your personality on the line, but you're always holding back. Or if you are putting your personality out, sometimes you'll put it out. You have days where you feel like instead you feel good, so you'll put your personality out and you'll feel good. Then you might get another day where you just feel really paranoid. You might regret doing it. You might think, oh, they might take advantage of me because they've seen I'm nice, I've opened up. You know, and you might question things, you might interpret things the wrong way. I used to do that. Someone make a comment about me and they're just generally just joking with me, and because I've got a girl with me or there's friends in the room, I might think, is he trying to take the piss out of me? Is he trying to make me look stupid in front of people? Then my violent side will switch on and I'll be like, he's going to do it more, and I'll start analysing and preparing for situations that are probably not going to happen, maybe creating those situations or imagining what if that happened. If he says that to me, I'll say that to him, and I'm going to come back. And if he punches me, I'm going to hit him more. So it creates this paranoia, and I understand. And what happens is you don't realise, because you don't trust yourself, you've got no self-love. You've actually got low self-esteem, or you've got no self-esteem. Because obviously if you can't trust yourself, you can't trust yourself to move forward in the world, to do the things you want to do. So you might say, I want to change my job, but part of your psychology is saying that I can't change jobs because the people might take advantage of me, or they might take the piss out of me, or I'm underqualified, I'm undereducated. Then you start going into, I'm not enough, my appearance is not enough. And if someone laughs at you, you might say, well, then maybe they're making fun of me. So there's a constant paranoia, and the way you interpret information is very different to a person like myself now, finally, that does trust themselves, has got self-love, that's confident. Where now, if for example, my old self, if I was walking down towards the train station and someone maybe looked at me for more than a second, my old self would have instant rage and feeling of got to be on guard, like why did that person stare at me? But if it happens now, I don't even notice it. Like it happens, I'm so used to it, I'll probably just smile and go, alright mate. My brain will interpret it as a positive thing. And for any reason, which is very rare, if someone upsets me and I do get what they call, I don't know, I get triggered by, you know, my old self, or something upsets me, I've got the kind of self-control just to manage it and talk myself out and calm myself down again. So the reason why I asked you the second question is, do you trust women? Because when you don't trust yourself, you can't trust any women. There's no doubt about it in my mind. And that's when I usually get emails from guys saying, I went out and done day game Johnny, I met this amazing girl, but for some reason I feel bad, I cheated on her and I don't know why I did it, and she found out and she's dumped me, or it fell apart. Or another one is, I met this girl, I know she likes me, but I'm frightened to take things further. So the whole thing with the trust thing, I'll go deeper into it. It comes back to probably the fear of abandonment. I was working with a guy before, another guy, I'm not going to say his name, none of his information disclosed. We were speaking, and he was a very intelligent guy, a very handsome guy, and he said to me that he really lost it on the session, and I'm such a lovely fellow, we had a great time. He said to me that he was frightened of going up speaking to women because he knew that actually he could get the numbers, because he's quite a confident man, he come from a confident background, successful man, he's bought his own place and all that stuff. Like, in some sense, he's more confident than I am, but he's not securing himself in this area. So he's worried about building connections with women because he doesn't trust women, because his experiences with women are, they've hurt him. And when he was younger, like myself, he was damaged. His mum wasn't kind to him, so that has created a distrust. And of course, as the saying says, the people closer to us hurt us the most. Sometimes they don't mean to do it. It was just how they were raised. That's why I've learned now to forgive my father, because there was also a lot of things that he did good, and I've got to give him credit for that. He did things the best way he could, but sometimes it isn't the best way emotionally how we take it. So it was difficult for me, and through years of going out and doing pickup, meeting women rather, I say pickup to language it to you guys, I didn't realise that, yes, sleeping with women was a big part of me, finding happiness, feeling like a man, feeling secure, but really my whole journey all the way up to now, and I'm still journeying, is about me building self-trust. Trusting yourself, it's not just about trusting yourself, it goes deeper than that. It's your self-love, it's your self-identity. We could go on and on and on, I'm gonna hold it there. So if you say all the time, because I know I used to say it, I can't trust that wanker down there, down the road, or oh, my friend's introduced me to his friend, but I don't trust the guy. And look, I'm not saying there are not people in the world that are dodgy. Of course there are. There's gonna be people you can't trust. But it's true what Jeff said, it's really true. Once you work on yourself and you get the self-trust, you don't really attract these type of people. And if you do, you probably wouldn't even notice it because you trust yourself. You're not worried about what they think about you or they're going to take advantage. And they can sense it. They can sense your alignment. And you don't have to be aggressive. That's the misconception I had. I thought that so people, because my nature is always quite charming. I'm quite, I don't know, it's hard to describe myself. I don't want to sound egocentric, but I'm quite a nice, charming person. I like people, I'm easygoing. And I used to think, if I show that side of me, people are going to think that I'm soft, because I come from, again, part of me comes from that upbringing that you've got to be a man, you've got to be dominant. So showing vulnerability and emotion and laughing too much and relaxing too much and being free-flowing and loving, it'll be perceived as weakness, which I later realised now it's not true. So my way was be a little bit funny, put my personality on the line, and then be back to violent again. So no one fucks with me. So when I go in the club, those fuckers stay away from me. Or if my mate introduced me to another friend, I'll say hello, but let me be serious in my face. You see my face now, see how serious I am, that's how I used to stare at people. So, but then inside, you're not happy. So you've got two predicaments. And I spoke to the guy today, he's a friend of mine, and he's an awesome guy. And he did amazing in the session, and just inspiring. And I said to him, and he said to me the same thing, he's teaching me back. Two solutions. First one is, when you don't trust yourself, you suffer in silence. So you don't go out and socialise, you don't do day game, you don't speak to women, you don't approach women, you don't work on yourself, you stay at home, right? You're safe. Because I know I used to do this in Fulham Broad, I know the feeling. Getting food, getting chocolates, getting distractions, smoking weed, alcohol, sitting at home, maybe having one friend that you kind of trust, and he's so away with the clouds he doesn't even notice anyway, alright? We've all got friends like that, and I probably was I was a friend like that to other people, so no judgment on my part. So, but then you suffer in silence and you're in pain because you're depressed, because part of you, your authentic self, we need connection, we need self-love, we need to connect with each other. So when you can't do that, you feel depressed, you get anxiety, you get those thoughts, you fucking, I know at the time when I was younger, I'll be straight with you guys, I was considering taking my own life, and I never did it. As you've seen, I made the change now by the power of God. But yeah, you get thoughts like that, and you just get bullied all the time, and you're frightened, you don't want to go out, and you're frustrated, you're confused, because you want to speak to people, but you don't trust people, and you want to have connections with people, but you don't want to be hurt, you don't want to feel abandoned. So in this predicament, and what I said to the guy is, we can suffer in silence, right, and don't take a risk, or we can go out, we can deliberately suffer, put ourselves in situations that invoke these feelings, in situations that we put our trust on the line, and eventually, through the practice of honesty, I'm going to stress honesty because it's the only way I've built self-trust in me. If I didn't use honesty now, I wouldn't be trusting to speak to you guys on camera now. I'm speaking to now, what am I speaking to? Almost 22,000 subscribers. I don't know how many, I think my YouTube channel's got almost 3.5 million views. So I would need to be trusting what I'm fucking saying now to be this open with you guys. And that's because I trust myself, I love who I am, and I love to inspire and to transform people. So, my message is, we need to develop trust of ourselves. So now I'm going to talk about pickup artistry and why it's not good. For guys that don't trust themselves, which is every guy who gets into pickup, whether he knows it or not, no fucking bullshit now, I'm going to get straight to it, I come over with crap. He doesn't fully trust himself, so he's using methods to hide the parts of himself that he doesn't trust in order to get results from women. And in theory, it sounds right, and you may need to do that. You need to fuck a few women and realise there's no joy there, there's no self-love there, because if it doesn't come from a place of honesty, if you don't trust yourself after you slept with her, you're in panic. And I know I went for it when I did the pickup thing for about 1.5 years. It was a very short period of my life, along the 11-year journey in getting here, but it was a part of my life that I really remember really thoroughly, and I'm going to maybe write a book about it in my accounts, my incidents of sleeping with women. I didn't sleep with many women while I was doing the pickup stuff. Most of my seductions or connections with women were when I was being myself, like how I'm being now. And it was because I didn't trust myself, and that trust led to stuff like erectile dysfunction, anger, depression, incredible highs, feeling good, incredible lows, moments of making friendships and then ruining the friendships, and then meeting people, and I found that I would attract the same type of people. That's not a judgment, because most guys, I fucking love these people, my friends, but they didn't trust themselves, I didn't trust myself, And there is this cesspit of negativity of people that don't trust themselves, and it just gets worse and worse. So if you keep saying you don't trust women, you will never trust a woman, you will never trust yourself, you'll never take the risk, you'll never be able to fall in love. So it's something that's you have to ask yourself the question: are you going to sit in silence and say, because I don't trust people, I'm not going to socialise and I'm going to have social anxiety, or am I going to put myself in situations where I need to start working on trusting myself? Then you're going to find out that's got nothing to do with women, it's got nothing to do with me, it's got nothing to do with your father or your mother that abuse you, or your brother or your sister or the guy at school. That's in the past. You can change that through, again, what Jeff says and what so many other teachers talked about. Eckhart Tolle, changing the perception or changing the story, updating the story. And we all have a right, we all have freedom to change our story. When we change our story, we change ourselves. So to build the trust, you need to change the old identity into the new identity. And what I said to the guy today was, you're not really changing, you're just revealing. He went, what do you mean by that? Because he's a straight guy like myself, he speaks his mind. And I said, well, you're not really adding anything, you're more showing who you are, you're exposing yourself. And then this comes back to stuff like the fear of opening up to people, because what does it take to open up? What do I have to have now? What am I doing now? I'm spitting my heart out now, I'm opening up, right? I've got to have trust. I've got to trust in what I'm saying. If I don't speak the truth or speak from my experience now, people are going to see I'm talking bullshit. You're going to feel my alignment. Okay, what's the repercussions? I might get judged. I could still get criticised even now when I'm speaking the truth, and I probably will, but that's fine. But the majority of you follow me and you understand what I'm talking about and need help in this area, this information is going to hit you. You're going to go, wow, because I'm only telling you what you already know, which you're probably afraid to admit to yourself or to speak about. So I'm kind of taking you through. And when I actually started to build more trust in myself, no surprise, I met women that are really nice, very loyal, not going to cheat on you, they're going to be there for you, they're still in my life. And the women that I couldn't trust, they are no longer in my life, they've evaporated. So we need to work on building trust of ourselves all the time. I still need to work on it, and how do I do that? By teaching other people, by being honest, by working on myself, by having the confidence, having the strength and the courage and the honesty to look at parts of me that maybe need to work on. And this is a lifelong journey. This is a lifelong journey. And connection, love, it's all centered around trust. If you can't trust someone, how can you trust to love someone? How can you receive? So it's very, very important. And I think lots of guys are going out doing the pickup stuff, and they are creating a distrust, if that's even a word, you know what I mean? They're not trusting themselves more, they're trusting themselves less. Yes, they're getting good in an egoic personality or a separate identity that performs and meets women and probably deserves an Oscar nominee or award, because you're faking it. You're faking it, and you can be a good fake. So I know I say be yourself, women can sense that, and they can, but you can be a good salesman, you can be a good fake where you pretend you're confident, you use a different personality so you avoid actually feeling the emotions, but eventually that causes suffering, because you can't connect with someone if there isn't emotional bond. You can't fake it. I can't fake the love for my mother, I can't fake the love for my brother, I can't fake the love for my cousins, I can't fake the love for my girlfriends, I can't fake the love for you guys. I love to do this. I know it probably sounds crazy, but I genuinely love you guys, because you guys same as me. You know, we all fucking come from a damaged cloth, and now I've made the transformation. I'm just excited to show you guys what I've done and to bring you guys with me, and you guys are coming with me anyway, and you're helping me to grow. I'm teaching you, you guys teaching me back. This is therapy for me. Me doing this now, helping you guys, is clearing up any old little bits of rust that I've got on me and just confirming what I know and what I need to keep reminding myself. And this is good. So the self-trust, the way to get it is very simple. It's with honesty. And you might say, well, what does that mean? The practice of honesty. Speaking to people. What am I doing now? What am I doing now? Am I creating distrust? I'm building trust. That's how I built my business. That's how I continue to build it, on good ethics. If I want my business to run well and I'm going to work with people, how the fuck am I going to trust to work with someone if I didn't trust myself? I wouldn't be able to work with someone. And I've got amazing people around me, and I continue to keep building that trust. It goes into everything. The relationship with myself, the relationship with money, the relationship with my family, the relationship with God. It's all trust. And the way we keep doing that is by practicing honesty all the time. And of course, I'm not saying that you've got to hang out with someone that you completely don't have a connection with. Of course, that's fine. You can't get along with everyone. But building more trust in yourself and taking a risk more, you can have a lot more friends in your life, and you're going to find out that most people are the same. We have different backgrounds, but we all want the same thing. We all want to pretty much do the same thing and get to the same place. So the self-trust is important, and it's no surprise if you're struggling, if you're getting flakes, if your girls are not texting you back, because if you don't trust yourself, the women's going to feel that. They won't trust you. But don't panic, because it takes time. It's a process, and it depends the sort of practice you're doing. And sometimes you need to get a mentor, you need to get help. That's why I got Jeff at the time, and I still get help from Jeff, because it keeps building that reassurance, that trust. It's making me go towards the things I want to do. And what gets in the way most times, people don't trust themselves? Fear. Of course it's fear. So that's why we have to pull ourselves out of fear. And I know it's cheesy, I feel a little bit cheesy saying this, but I've just got to be honest, tell the truth. We've got to bring ourselves into love more. Then we feel good. We feel that, we feel at peace. We feel, we feel secure in ourselves, and we feel secure around others. And it's true what one guy said, with the PUA mindset, it's stealing, it's taking, it's grabbing, I've got to do tricks so I can get this from it and escape alive. But you can't escape alive. There's nowhere to run to. There's nowhere to run to. The truth is the truth, and the truth will remain without. And the truth is, if you're using pickup stuff, you're not going to create trust with women in yourself. You're never going to trust women. It's going to be the 9s, the 10s, the enemies. I'm over here, the other guys in the club. I swear to God, man, I can't tell you how much my reality changed. I don't live in that reality. I don't live in that reality of when I go out, I think, fucking hell, that guy, he might steal the girl. I have abundance. I live in abundance. You guys got the same thing. Either you didn't realise it, or you fucking sitting at home, you haven't realised it. So of course, and I fucking hell, man, I do appreciate it's hard. It is hard. I know it's not easy. It was hard for me. But thank God you guys have got me, because I never had this information when I was starting out. I didn't know what social anxiety was. All I knew was I was fucking scared every time. I had to fucking diarrhea, and I'd take a shit every fucking day because I was so nervous. My immune system, my irritable bowel syndrome, I was sweating all the time. 1 week I'd be okay, then I'd go like a skeleton, I'd lose weight. My health was deteriorating. I couldn't sleep, I was anxious. And I said to my mate one day, I'm nervous, anxious. He goes, what's that? He just laughed it off. I said, you don't realise it isn't funny. It was more frightening than when I did the street fights. My dad used to bring me down when I was younger and say, why, that guy bullied you? You're gonna have a one-on-one and fight him. My dad would watch me, the whole fucking area would watch me. That was scary, that was daunting. Or public speaking, boxing. This was worse, to being in a place of distrust. And I don't usually say this, but I'm gonna say, whatever religion you are, pick a Bible up, pick up a Quran, pick up something spiritual and read it, because these things do help. Maybe it's not gonna help in one day, but it's gonna lead you to somewhere. Listen to Alan Watts, listen to Les Brown, because basically what they're all talking about is the same thing. They're just going around different ways, but they're basically saying success is about building trust in yourself, giving value, putting this stuff out. So we need to develop to trust ourselves. Then we don't have to worry about, can I trust Johnny? Can I trust what he's saying? Can I trust my mate? And I've said to you guys before, yeah, please, man, challenge my stuff, go out and try it for yourself. I said to guys all the time, if you don't trust what I'm saying, you don't trust that honesty works, honesty and congruency is the most fast, efficient, long-lasting way to build relationships with women and yourself, build your self-esteem, increase your financial earnings, start a business, then don't listen to me. And this is not actually, I was about to say, this is not something I learnt myself. It's everything I learned. I made a mistake there, sorry. I learned this all through my own experience, from starting off with someone who just was so skeptical of everyone. Even if my friend, I had such a bad attitude. My friend showed me a boxer, without even giving it a chance to see him fight one round, I just go, oh no, I don't like how he looks, don't trust him. It's like, what's that got to do with his talent? So, I don't know, man. I mean, it's really important. And it isn't no secret that many guys that follow the pickup artist stuff are just going down into, getting worse, going into more fear and more anxiety. So the more trust you have, the less anxiousness you have. And like I said, my whole state process is a metaphor. When I go out on the street and you see me guys going up, I know it can look mental if you've never seen it, up to them saying, hey, how you doing, giving compliments, and going up to lots of different people and just walking around. I'm just showing you a metaphor for getting you to take the first step towards building trust and socializing with people, because you reflect back. If you look, and also, if you can find one person that you really trust, maybe like your mum, your dad, your brother, or your best friend, or someone who's on the same path as you and you really trust that person, that's good, because that's going to connect you to the bit in you that you can trust in you. Then if you get another person you can trust, you've got two mates, that's going to build more trust in you. So it's kind of like, it's like what is within will be without. What you feel inside, you're going to create outside. So if you're around 10 friends and you don't trust any of them, and none of you trust each other, that means you don't trust yourselves. But if you're around 2 friends and you really trust them, you can tell them anything and you don't feel judged, you've got healthy boundaries, but you love each other, That's part of you loving in yourself. And Alan Watts is right. He says Alan Watts says, how do we get to know each other? Through reflecting back at ourselves. So if I don't trust myself now, then you guys wouldn't trust what I'm going to say. You're just going to sense it. You've been following me for a long time. I've built a good relationship with you, and that's because I put honest stuff out. And there's nothing wrong as well with making honest mistakes. When I was in this place of anxiety, I was constantly worrying if I have a friendship with someone, and I know my good qualities, but I slip out and make a mistake, are they going to leave me? There's this constant feeling of being abandoned, and that's not true. People will forgive, you'll make mistakes, but if we're constantly paranoid and we're frightened to move forward, that's part of being a human being. I make mistakes all the time. It's part of my naturalness, it's part of my congruency and my honesty, it's part of my personality. But on the whole, if you're completely out of sync, and you're being someone else, and you're afraid to go forward and speak your mind and connect with people, it's no fun. So it is important, and they're the two questions I ask. Do you trust women, and do you trust yourself? The more you work on yourself, the more you don't need to worry about that girl down cheated on this person, or my mate said this girl cheated, or I get guys saying you can't trust Russian women, they cheat on you, they take your money, or you can't trust this particular background. And you just get to a stage where you say this is bollocks. You just say it wouldn't really make a difference you're not trusting the girl, because you don't trust yourself anyway. So I could bring in a saint, I could bring in a girl who's fucking a church girl or whatever, a virgin girl, and you wouldn't trust her as well, because you'd be saying, I'm not sure about her, that's how I lived. You could put anyone in front of me, you could put the fucking Messiah in front of me, I probably wouldn't even trust God at those times, the way I was feeling and how bad it got for me because of the bullying. And to some extent, the only thing I could trust in my life at that particular time was distrust. It's kind of weird, but I didn't feel comfortable unless I wasn't in negativity. I didn't trust good feelings. That's it. I didn't trust my good emotions. When good emotions came up, I thought something's not wrong. I'm waiting for the fear to come back. I'm like, oh, I feel better now. I'm afraid, but this is all I know now. So don't sit in that. Don't think that's normal, because I'll be honest with you, it isn't normal to be afraid all the time. I was living like that for many years. It's perfectly healthy to get fight or flight when we go and do public speaking, or when we take on new challenges, we get a bit feeling. But if you're in fear all the time, especially around your family, something's not right. Something needs to get fixed. I'm telling you, you need to get help. You need to see a psychologist, you need to get some therapy. And I'm going to make something really clear, because I'm a man who does this for a living, and I'm very passionate about what I do, and I want to raise awareness on anxiety and low confidence. There's nothing weak about getting help. There's nothing weak about getting in touch with myself, or getting counselling, or speaking to someone that's gone through the same thing, because I'm a product of that. I'm a product of a man that was frightened, that was ashamed of getting help. And I got a mentor a few months ago, and I should have got it ages ago, you know. Okay, I met Floyd, but Floyd wasn't a paid mentor. I didn't open up to Floyd about my problems, and if I go back in time now, I probably would have changed that. But I suppose I wouldn't change anything because I'm here now. But my point is, you're not less of a man because you get help, because we all need help at some stage, you know. God forbid, I'm in a great place now. You don't know what can happen next year. I might fall out, I might have to get some fucking coaching from some, but I'm pretty secure I'll be alright. But you just never know in life. That's why we can't take it for granted, and we need to trust that. I need to trust that tonight when I go to sleep, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be able to shoot more videos on YouTube and continue enjoying my life. So we need to take, within trust, we've got to sometimes trust the unknown. We have to. That's what day game's about, the metaphor for what I teach, honesty. When guys say, if I go up to and speak to her, is it guaranteed to work? I'm like, there's no 100%. We've got to trust that this is going to work. And then to some extent, we've got to stop caring so much. And I think to some extent, when you trust yourself more, you care less, because you're more secure in you. You're not worried about me, what Johnny's doing, or what the other guy's doing, or what the girl's saying. You're like me sitting at home now. I'm enjoying, it's a Saturday night, it's Halloween, I've been working all week, I've been on dates, I've been teaching. I'm happy being by myself. I'm going to do some writing, I'm going to get some food after. I'm not sitting here with terror no more, anxiety running through, worrying and panicking. I'm excited about tomorrow. I've got more teaching to do tomorrow, I've got more projects. So we need to build a relationship. This is number one. Number one is in here. We build relationship with number one, number two, number three. I'm using the metaphor of people we meet. Then we can pass on our love and build the connections. And it's kind of mad, because when you really trust yourself a lot and you're congruent, if you're around someone who's a bit out of sync, they will trust you more. They'll feel your alignment. They'll feel your congruency. It will bring out their better side. It sounds crazy, but it makes sense, doesn't it? If you don't trust yourself and you meet someone who's slightly skeptical of people, it's going to bring out his bit in him and don't trust them. Two of you are tangling. But if you trust yourself fully and you're with someone who's kind of trusts themselves, 70%, you'll bring them into trust, because they'll just feel your energy. And that's the power of the coaching I do. People feel when they work with me that my intentions are purely good. I put my ego aside. I love to help. They're in my hands and I'm surrendering to them, and I don't know everything, but I'm doing my best to help them, my experience, and we're going to build a relationship and we're going to get this handled. All right, so If you want to get my help, you want to get in touch with me and check out my 6 Weeks program, the best way to start is go to my website, www.johnnyberba.com, send me an email. That's where the first magic starts, on the email. There's no guarantee. I don't work with everyone. I don't turn anyone away, but if I can't help you for whatever reason, I will just say, my coaching's not right for you, but maybe someone else's. But most of the time, I can probably help you. If any of those things I've said today resonate with you, this is what a lot of my coaching is about. It isn't just about going out and speaking to women. We do that, but I help you to develop a relationship with yourself and trust yourself more, and then you can trust everyone within reason, all right? So I hope that helped, and that was my message about how to trust yourself more, how to trust women, how to trust people, because I get lots of emails all the time, and this is a subject that I really wanted to cover and I never covered it before, and I just felt the need to say it today because I think just in watching this video, this is going to spark a nerve in you, it's going to help you, and I would be really happy just to know that someone watching this video, it could change their life, it could make them take the first step, or just to make them think and go, yeah, you know what I mean, I can change my life. I promise you guys, it isn't over. I just sit in my room for days and just feel like giving up, like no one cares about me, I'm less of a person, I don't even like being in my own body, what's the fucking point? But we can change it, and it starts with one step. One step is like wanting to change. You just got to want it. If you want to change, the teachers will come forward. And I remember at the time even thinking that I don't have money, I can't do nothing. Trust me, somehow God will work it out. Things will happen. You take the first step, you get a bit of help, and you keep going, all right? So I hope that helps. When we trust ourselves, we can trust pretty much everyone, and we don't have to worry about, is this person going to get the better of me or take advantage of me? Because people will not take advantage of you when you trust yourself. It's just felt. So it's kind of, it's really interesting and it's exciting. I know it's a bit difficult, but once you delve into it, you really start to enjoy it, and it all makes sense, and you get the courage. And building self-trust, as far as I'm concerned, is building self-love and accessing it, which you already have. So it's getting out all the blocks and getting rid of all your protective or defensive mechanisms and building a better relationship with yourself. And then you just want to be around people, you're excited, you want to open up, you want to express yourself. You're just in a very giving place, and you're usually going to be reciprocated back, and that comes in the form of making more money, having more attractive women around, meeting more like-minded people, and just connecting with people more. And that's really what it's about. That's what I'm teaching men, how to connect with themselves and others. All right, thank you for watching. Enjoy the process. All right, make it happen.